Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is, and that was a pretty positive.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them, because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
That first down completion only netted them 3. Second and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 26-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass, because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, second and 10.
Now let's go.
Back to throw now on second and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job. Way to knock it down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll drop to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's King to throw on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Here's Cincinnati defensively right now in the NFL ranked number 12 against the pass. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 3rd down, King. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. 3-19. King now on 3rd down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
I don't believe the this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd.
All right, here we go. Boom, land it.
King from the gun, he'll throw. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And on the ground they go with the running back. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The numbers for him from a week ago. 11 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Let's go.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal.
Now let's go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Let's go.
They get it to him running left. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And his kick here is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me,
partner. I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that... And that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And the Steelers set to take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases-clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And they'll run it here. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Hurry up. Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw is King. To throw on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Ward. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now King looking to throw on 2nd down. Throws right side, and that's complete. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh 1st. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom,
now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, and for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. So a big third down hookup here will take us to the break. It's a tight game here early. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
Forget height and catch radius. When you run the fade really well, run down the defender, kind of take him a little bit towards the middle of the field, and then fade to the sideline and give your quarterback some space, it can be executed that well, just as we saw.
From the gun, King. And he rifles one incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Set. Green 39.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Here's King, operating from the gun. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This just a 24-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And with that, they'll take a 1-point lead here in the 2nd. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 90.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this 1st half. It's a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Let's go. 3, 19. 3, 19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. Off the bootleg, King looking for his running back, and he's got it. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
King now on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll set up to throw. And that will be incomplete as well. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Set. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Looking to throw. King. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10.
Here we go. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here we go now. 3.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
King off the play fake. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
To throw is King. From the gun, he'll throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. in for the score. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Here we go now.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. He'll look to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. They'll look to throw here on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now back to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Now let's go. 3-19.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sense that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
He'll drop to throw. His throw incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. He'll look to throw, and he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. They'll look to throw here, and this is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And his kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now King throwing on 1st down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
That just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play.
Here we go. Green.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. This is taken at the 15. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin with an interesting one in the AFC. The Chargers heading east to take on Cleveland, and that game tied at 7 in the second quarter. From there we say, so long, America. Hello, England. As we head over the Atlantic to check out the action in London. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, we're off to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Bucks have been as good as anybody in the first month, as another win could get them to 4-0. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Green 39! Green 39!
Here's King to throw on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Steelers on third down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Off the bootleg. King. Hard throw. Incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football. Incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be taken at the 13. A second spin.
Turning and turning and turning.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Here we go.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And nearly nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now the Bengals on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw, and that is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A quick throw, but incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here we go now. Green 39.
King now. Off play action. And he fires one, but incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now let's go. Green.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Back to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. Don't like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect. Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
That is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green.
Off the play fake. King. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, here we go.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go.
And they'll run it here. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now the try here for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your pro? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. The Bengals bring out their punter now. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. come the Steelers. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed
All
up.
right, here we go. Blue line!
And they'll go on the ground. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
All right, here we go. Blue line!
King to throw on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Here we go now. 3
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12.
Here we go now. 319.
They'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll drop the throw. And that's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And this one is right through. And that'll move them back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This is fielded at the goal line. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Steelers send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got a man complete. That goes for a gain of 31. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up. Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw now on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
All right, here we go.
They're going to look to throw. They'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He'll get it up the middle. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll set up a throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Well, they were successful in one sense. They completed the pass, but still leads them to a tough 4th down situation, doesn't it?
It does, and the deficit more than 3 here at a 1-score game. So the field goal, not their ideal situation. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
All right, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says He has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking like the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy.
Yeah.
In addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
Going up top. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller's sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
The Steelers send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. In for the score. And the Bengals, if they can convert the extra point, will have the lead.
There are plenty of ways for a special teams coach to get excited. And when you block a punt into the end zone and recover for a score, yeah, he's going to be jumping up and down a big way.
And as a punter, you know that clock is ticking. He just didn't get it off in time. A try here for the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Bengals defense readies as they head onto the field. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw is King on 1st and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Haynes. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
Now King on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue landed.
Here's King, operating from the gun. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue landed.
Operating from the gun, King. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
The Steelers send out their punter now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And they'll run it here. They'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Green 39! Green 39! Hut!
And this is going to be incomplete.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a one-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Set. Green, 39.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
And that is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. So the folks on hand here growing a little restless with their kicking game. That's now 2 misses so far.
And in a tight game, 4th quarter, the fans aren't the only ones getting restless, Brandon. There were a few looks of disbelief on that sideline as well.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That throw good for 4. It's second down. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
To throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 41 yards. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. He's back to throw. And this one's incomplete. Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
He'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete. Fourth down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
Now let's go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Oh, he almost had it. Would have been a big interception here in OT. Instead, it'll give him another shot on 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. 3rd and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
King now. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Oh, he almost had it. Would have been a big interception here in OT. Instead, it'll give him another shot on 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Dumping it off for Johnson. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And now running right through it. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few 1st downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives them the 1st down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. King. And a quick throw here. That's complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. I know there may be temptation to go for it here in overtime, but you have to punt the football.
I like how emphatic you are about it because I know the tendency is, as a player, let's go get this thing. You're actually telling your coach, come on, coach, we can get it. We have that play call. And the head coach has to remember, that play call likely isn't there. Punt the ball away. Punt it away. Be smart.
Trust your defense.
Trust them.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
You got to remember, because now that we're in overtime, mistakes get magnified. So you got to walk that line between being aggressive and being careful, because that was a dangerous throw right there. You obviously cannot have an interception in this spot.
It nearly was an interception. He's lucky to get that one back. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Looking to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
King looking to throw on 2nd down. Pass incomplete.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is King. Off the play fake. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals have recovered it. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for
you.